So again, I know yous are all gonna go, but Terry, when are you gonna stop screwing around with your guitars? Unfortunately, not for a while yet, or I probably have for the most part. But I was just kind of curious since I had the neck refinished and I seen how the clear went. Thought that maybe I'd try to figure out how to re-clear the Made in Mexico Stratocaster that I just had did the work on and upgrading and crap. And first off, I will say the paper towel method technique for the wipe-on poly that Chris from Highlight or Highline Guitars showed is not applicable when it comes to redoing a painted or pre-poly finished guitar such as this Fender Stratocaster. I would venture to guess it probably went better because I already had poly put on the neck part of this guitar, so that's why it went on easier. When it came to the body, this don't cut it. This, I'd have to say, so far out of my experience with using the wipe-on poly, this is probably ideal if you're talking about a guitar body or neck that is the natural wood or has a natural stain, like the Simon wipe-on stain that I had used previously. Putting wipe-on poly on top of those finishes and so forth with paper towel, great. It works every single time. In regards to a pre-existing poly such as the, I think it's Plastipoly they call it, I read online, that Fender puts on their guitar bodies, no, it does not work the same. Even still said, even after what I show you, you can see how there still is flaws. And again, I didn't do it to be exactly super perfect, but I have to say I'm really impressed how everything has came out. So with that said, it's 3 minutes. I'll try to keep this not as long, but let's start at the back here. Again, the whole neck has been refinished, or at least top coated with the wipe-on poly clear gloss. And you can see that the gold tuners are actually reflecting in the finish now. The key is, again, as I picked up from Eric and a few other people, you can see the gloss here actually on the neck showing, is the fact that you definitely have to hit it with the upper grits. So before it was stopping in around 1500, well, this time, especially in the case of the body here, as you can see your reflection in it. You can still see on some angles some of the bits of the poly crap. You can see here down along the cutaway. Again, when you have to cut through a bad thing of poly, a bad laydown of poly, you have to cut pretty hard, especially on these bodies, and you have a tendency to possibly go through. That's one area. Thought I had, yeah, there's another one right there down along the curve of the bottom. There's one or two there, as you can see. But the key again to doing the body with this finish with the whatever they call the poly finish or poly type of finish is, again, sand it back with 2000 grit. And then again, as I mentioned, the paper towel technique is not a very good one. In this case, I defaulted back to the cloth. And again, it looks like my brightness is slightly down. Or sorry, exposure is down. You can still see some of the scratches from previously. Again, like I said, it was just to kind of give it a restored kind of clear. Let's see if I can, while I'm doing this video, yes, that's why the exposure is totally jacked up here. Okay, now that I brought the exposure down a little bit, so everything has been totally knocked back with 2000 grit. And then done probably about 3 or 4 times with the wipe on poly, knocked back again to level it out with the 2000 grit. You can really see the difference here on the front of the headstock. How I've really got that cleared up and cleared out now. It actually almost looks kind of like it's factory, even though you can see that the logo's kind of taken away in that and such. But yeah, so again, I've left all the dings and dent in place, yeah, just for to keep it kind of, I guess you could say, new old stock kind of look. Not to mention, really didn't have much of an interest in killing the dents out of it anyways. Again, the sanded down past the initial coat. Further much, again, like I said, once you get past the, once you get the 2000 and you start getting it thinned out and you start applying the coats, then it really comes out more. And again, people that don't like gloss nicks because they get sticky and such, nope. Because again, if you're hitting it with the 2000 grit, it's nice and slippery and slick. So just a few more shows. So again, the only thing that isn't done to this now is, again, I gotta find a gold football jack. Again, the one that came from China that I bought on the cheap was all dinged up and no good. The only good thing out of it was the 2 screws that came with it. So beyond that, that is the guitar, and that is the clear coating of it. And it's got new strings. I just got to tune it up properly, and it will be left finally. So with that folks, have a good night, good day, good evening wherever you are, and hope you're doing well. Bye for now.